What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be exploring the new trails of the Boone Backcountry Byway. Coddiwomple Overland is brought to you in part by Overland Vehicle Systems, Stop Overland, and Faster Flate. In May of this year, 2021, the Boone Backcountry Byway decided to add several more miles of trail to their system. We decided to meet in Frenchburg, which is in Menifee County. This is where most of the new trails are. After a quick air down, it was time to head out on the trail to see what kind of adventure laid ahead of us. A couple quick turns out of Frenchburg and we were finding dirt already. We had unloaded most of our overlanding stuff for this trip and battled rattles throughout the day. Air compressor and a battery.
Is it on the top?
Yeah. It's like Black Bear Pass.
That's what I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah.
We're on Black Bear Pass.
Obviously, we wasn't on Black Bear Pass. There was too many trees, and it wasn't near steep enough. It was definitely a tight switchback, though. The well-manicured gravel road quickly turned into an old path that you could tell has not seen a whole lot of traffic in a long time. How big a hole it is.
There's a culvert pipe here that looked to be a hole around.
After a quick inspection, we decided that we could get across it pretty easy. This was just the first partially washed out culvert that we would encounter throughout the day. Some of the trees have been cut back, but there was still occasional new fall like this one here that just had to be knocked out of the way.
That would cause a big scrape.
Yeah. The electric chainsaw made quick work of this little limb, and we were on our way again. Not being quite so packed up, I was able to put the chainsaw right behind my seat, which made it a whole lot easier to get to. I may have found a new home for it.
You have the chainsaw right there.
Right there, yeah. Yeah, that made it much nicer.
Well, if you had a hood monkey, they would cut it off for you as you're driving up to it.
That's what I'm talking about.
See? Connor gets it.
I want a monkey.
As the hood monkey conversation continued, the trails kept getting better and better. And it was here that things went from just casual to very interesting.
Woo!
I was trying to stay between the ruts and just got sucked right in.
Do you need a winch line to keep you from rolling or anything?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think I can just ease right on around the inside of this and we'll be fine. Just when you guys come around through here, we're either going to need to go all the way up to the top to that right rut, or we're going to need to come all the way and just go ahead and get into this lower rut. One of the two, we're going to have to embrace the rut. If not, we're going to end up somebody crossways. Deb's in a hole on the right side. Looks like the left side's going to be the way to go. She's stuck. Wonder if she's reconsidering those all-terrain sandals at this point.
She needs Crocs and put them in four-wheel drive.
Yep. You want to just come back down here and ride up? She sure is a trooper. She does whatever it takes to get the shot. Well, she has taken the sandals off now, and she's put it in barefoot four-wheel drive.
You better tell her I don't have any water in this water port.
Too late now. After Deb clawed her way to the top, it was my turn to see if I could make it. You may have a problem. The lower part of this rut had a lot thicker and deeper mud than I had anticipated. Yeah, well, I think we're going to make it at this, and I am way, way sideways. It was time once again to get out, evaluate things, and put together another plan. After we all looked at it, we decided that the upper rut would be the one that would give us the best chance to get to the top and would also cause the least amount of damage to the trail.
Gotta bump it. Whoa. Gotta hit her hard, Connor. Little bump.
Just a little bit, a little bump. Okay. Man, that shit's crazy. Alright, can I straighten it up? Same thing.
Good job, Mike.
Awesome. Just keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. After that uphill, it looked like things were going to level off here pretty soon and get back to a little more normal trail. The more normal or tame trail didn't last long. The next obstacle was a downhill washed out section with a rock shelf in the middle of it.
Keep going. All right, now. How's that rear tire, Kelly? Okay. I'm turning into it. Okay. Beautiful.
After I made it off of it, we decided to adjust the line just a little bit for everybody else. After one more small washed out area, we would be at the end of Cold Iron Fork Road. Cold Iron Fork was a great trail to start with. We couldn't wait to see what else we would find. It didn't take long to find our way onto Johnson Hollow Road. This trail, while a little bit milder than the last, had a few interesting sections in it. This trail is very scenic, and the further we went down it, the more tame it became. It actually turned into a gravel road. And then from gravel to blacktop, and that's when the rain really caught up with us. Luckily, we're out on blacktop while the hardest of the rainstorm came through.
There you go. I like your thinking.
You could have had that hood monkey get out and put the hinge in it for you.
Oh, we keep hitting trails like we've been hitting. I'll have a hinge in it.
Before we knew it, we were back on dirt, and the trails, just like you would imagine, were quite a bit muddier than they were just an hour before. In addition to the trails being muddy, the color changed in the water as well. We had had some rain, but it really wasn't enough to be concerned about any type of flash flooding. We had not only been watching the radar for immediately around us, we had also been watching it in surrounding areas to make sure that there wasn't any big rainstorms that were going to come and fill these creeks up. This section of creek here was solid rock bottom and had a couple of small waterfalls that you had to go up. I bet this would be a very pretty area if the water was clear.
Free car wash.
Shame you can't see those waterfalls.
You were videoing that, right?
Yeah. The further we made it up Clifton Creek, the more we got out of the water and onto the narrow old road.
It's tight, ain't it?
Yep. See if Kelly wants me to come back down and spot him through that.
Kelly, let us know if you need spot on that.
That'll be fun. Oh, we keep going. That ain't big as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, we'd just be able to. I'm gonna park right here.
And right near the top of Clifton Creek is where you'll find this awesome waterfall. We'll do it with all of it. Right after the waterfall, the sun would come out. We were hoping it was going to stay out for the rest of the day. Clifton was a whole lot of fun, and the upper part above where the waterfall is definitely the most technical part of it. Next it was on to Myers Fork, making our way on then to Betty Gap Ridge. There are a few places along this new addition that can be a little bit confusing. Just make sure you stay on the line on your map and you'll be just fine.
Before I take off.
Yeah, does it go across there?
Yeah, I think it does. Come on, Boone. Yeah, it crosses.
Go that way or that way?
I think it goes either way. We'll go this way.
Big rock right there in the.
I see.
See it?
Tell them there's a big rock right on the driver's side.
There's a big rock right on the driver's side.
This area down in here doesn't seem like it sees very much traffic at all. As we got closer to the lake, as one would expect, we encountered quite a few more bugs and a lot more water.
See the bottom of it right there.
Can you?
Yeah. He's got a rock bottom.
I was beginning to wonder if we were going to have to break out the paddle.
Got a solid bottom. It's got a solid bottom in it.
I'm not sure how much longer this little section of trail here will be passable. We were starting to get a little bit concerned as all of this water and we still hadn't made it to what they were calling the high water crossing. We made it to the high water crossing, and this is where we decided to stop and have lunch. After having a quick lunch, it was time to make our way across the high water crossing. It actually wasn't bad at all. After the creek crossing, we made our way up Forest Service Road 1085. This trail was a lot of fun too. The trail had some really nice features, such as these rock formations, and it also had a couple of awesome waterfalls. A group had passed us while we were having lunch and said there were about 13 rigs at the other end of this trail that were having trouble getting up a hill. We wondered if this was the hill climb that they were talking about. We didn't see anybody there, but we were willing to help if they would have been. The upper end of this hill climb was really rutted out, and it looked like that several people had had a hard time getting to the top of it. Luckily, none of us had any issues, and we all crawled right to the top of it without any problem. After that, we made our way back to Frenchburg. This is where we would find a Frosty Freeze, and everybody had ice cream. I hope you've enjoyed going with us on our adventure through Menifee County along the new Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway trails. As always, let us know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, see ya.